now going to hand over to Premier Alan Winde. A very good afternoon to you, Premier.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the members of the media. Thank you for joining us. To the citizens who are logged on, thank you for joining us in the room with me here. I've got Minister Simmers as well as the Director General, but of course we'll be logging on soon to Minister Riddell and to Schalk Carstens, the Disaster Management Centre. This is just a briefing to bring everybody up to date as to where we are in the province with the thing that is happening across the province. For me, I'd like to just start off by saying thank you very much to the disaster management team. You're a group of professionals who we can always rely on, so thank you to you. I want to thank the traffic officials, the emergency services, law enforcement officials, and of course those citizens who are stepping in and helping us during this time when we have excess rain and damage across our province from flooding. But of course we will be briefed now our disaster management team. I just would like to say one other thing is to the citizens, please, we need to be cognizant of damage to our roads, the flowing waters. I need everyone in our province to be safe. Don't take any chances. Listen to the officials. And if you have any doubt, rather just stay put, stay at home and stay safe. If you are concerned at all, please make use of our emergency number, 0860 142 142. We'll put it up at the end of this briefing as well, but it's 0860 142 142. We have brought in extra staff to manage the lines just so that we can keep you updated if you have got any questions. And perhaps lastly, just please do not pass on fake news. That doesn't help anybody. We've got to make sure that we only use information from the professional in the system. And I think without any further ado, Regan, I'm going to hand back to you and just say thank you very much.
Thank you, Premier. I'd now like to hand over to the Western Cape Local Government Environmental Affairs and Development Planning Minister, Mr. Anton Bredell, who is also flanked by Schalk Carstens of the Provincial Disaster Management Centre, and they'll give you the latest details as we have them on the situation, the cold fronts that have been slamming into the region, as well as the response from the PDMC and our partners. Thank you, Minister. Over to you.
Thank you, Premier, and again thank you, Schalk, to you and your team. We've activated our disaster management centre in the province as well as throughout our districts. All the joint operating centres are activated in the affected areas. We received a briefing from the West Coast, Cape Winelands, City of Cape Town, Overberg and Garden Route. Currently it's a widespread throughout the province, so it makes it difficult because it stretches your ability and capabilities. But the West Coast is minor damage in certain areas, wind damage, etc. Cape Winelands, we keep a close eye on the Paarl area. The Berg River it's full, but remember also our dams, because of the good winter rain, they full. So the Wemmershoek Dam, we're working very closely with the Department of Water and Sanitation because they need to release water to protect the integrity of the dam, and therefore they will keep a very close eye and monitor the river, because the Hollandse Mule in Paarl, there might be a call to evacuate that area, but we will not do this unnecessary. We work with professional people, and when they do ask people to move, please abide by the calling, because at the end of the day we want to save lives. The Stellenbosch region received around about 133 millimeters of rain in the last anything from 12 to 24 hours. Lots of rain. You will see the photos, lots of photos of flooded areas in the Boord, those areas. But the Mooi River area, We vacate people out of that area, low-lying areas. It was very important to save lives there and to get them out of harm's way. Our biggest concern currently is the roads and the closure of the roads, and people want to move back from a long weekend. So the call on people to abide by the call of the traffic and the police, very important for us. The N2 in Botteriver is closed. The Saloris Pass is currently closed. The Rooi Els Pass is closed. So Verliesdorp is closed. So we will send out a complete list of all the road closures, etc. And we, as the day moves on, we also have teams out there trying to clear the roads and open it up again. So it's a moving target, but contact your nearest police and they will be able to support you. In the Overberg area, we had rains up to 170 millimeters of rain in the last 24 hours. Obviously being hit very hard. The Hermanus, Stanford, Gansbaai, those areas. Up till now, they're busy sending out rescue teams to Struisbaai to support people there. That's in distress. Last night, they've saved around about, I think it was 11 people that they saved in Grabouw or in Stanford, and 7 families they saved in Grabouw. There was also a boat that overturned, and NSRI managed to save the 3 people on that boat. But as we speak, Hermanus is out of electricity currently, bringing another challenge to the system. Also, their main water outlet has been damaged. So there's going to be a call to people to use water sparingly in that area, while teams must try and fix it under very difficult circumstances. We expect the weather to move on to the Garden route this afternoon. It's been downgraded to a level 6 in the Garden route, with expected rain of 40 to 60 millimeters, wind by 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Can still be severe, so the teams must just plan and be ready for that. The city of Cape Town, all over low-lying areas, a lot of flooding, etc., and we will need to work very closely with DSD and SASSA to support the families in the poor areas, to see to it that we protect them and help them as well. Again, Breda Valley also being hit hard, but we monitor and we keep a very close eye on that. In Botteriver, the part of the road with the bridge was washed away with the car on it. There was 2 people in the car. They managed to save 1. Still looking for the other one, but it doesn't look good. In Verliesdorp, there's also 2 people missing. There's also rescue teams looking for them. And then the bus accident early this morning, but that was not due to the weather, where we've lost 3 lives. So, Premier, I don't know. All the teams are on standby. Obviously, the mopping up will need to happen and the assessment of the damages, but first of all, we need still to get through the storm. I think the next 12 hours is also going to be very difficult in various areas, but I can promise you that everybody is doing their utmost best. And as I stated in the beginning, the system we've built over the last 10, 12 years managed to save lives and help us a lot to prepare and to be proactive in circumstances like this. So that's where we stand. I don't know, Schalk, if you want to add anything.
Thank you, Minister, and good morning, Premier. We have, since Friday morning, we had the Weather Service, South African Weather Service, starting to inform us about this huge storm coming. They upgraded it from a level 7 to a level 9, and a level 9 is nearly doomsday. We were so concerned that we started with a JOC meeting, 9 o'clock on Friday. We activated the center Friday afternoon. We went through now, until now, we luckily have that our staff divided in 3s. So we've got 3 shifts going, and we also brought in all the other stakeholders and departments. And luckily, we were totally, activated and ready for the storm. We activated the City of Cape Town as well as all 5 district municipality disaster management centers. So they're out there and they've got each and every service in their areas also activated. And currently, we've got also all the provincial services and the applicable national departments in here. For instance, South African Department of Water and Sanitation, we've got a representative here, and we've got a representative of our human resources, a person here, and they also have direct contact with the National Human Resources Department if we need any assistance. Especially our human settlements. We are currently in liaison with our social development department. As Minister said, we need them on board as quickly as possible because we're going to have a huge amount of people that will be affected by the storm that currently might have to have humanitarian aid. From this side, we are still busy. We're not completed yet, and will still have to do what is necessary. But from my side, I proactively thank all the services that they've done, what they've done as far, and also for our political principal, Minister Bradell, for being with us throughout, and also our HOD, Graeme Paulse, for he's also sitting in the centre. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Premier. That's from our side. Thank you, Premier. That's from our side.
Thank you very much. I have got Minister Simmers here, and obviously it's early days while the rain is still falling. But of course, we need to be on standby, ready to mop up where possible to gain access. So I'll just quickly pass you across to Minister Simmers. I'm not sure if he'd be able to give too much of an update, but Minister Simmers.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to all my colleagues there. Just briefly from my side, what I've gathered from the relevant district, in this case the Overberg, is together with the disaster management are currently actually busy in certain areas of the district already. Depont, they've just removed the boat itself due to the flow of the water as well. That's the latest update I've managed to get. And in terms of branch human settlements from an infrastructure component, we are aware that earlier this morning, 250 affected families had to be relocated in Villiersdorp to the local creche. I am aware that Gift of the Givers are partially assisting there, and I believe that they will be contacting provincial disaster management for further assistance in that regard as the municipality. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Minister Simmers. Obviously, because it is still raining, we've got to deal with the issues as they come up. And all I can say is that from our side, as the Western Cape government, our call centre once again is available. We've called extra staff in to make sure we're managing the call centre. That is 0860 142 142. Please check before going out. I don't want anybody taking chances and risks. If you can delay your traveling, try to delay your traveling. Check either through this number or through your local law enforcement officers or your local municipality before you venture out. I want people to be safe rather than sorry. Once again, I want to really thank all of those officials, those law enforcement officials, our emergency services, the disaster management teams, all of the government officials that are out busy making sure that we are mitigating risk wherever possible. And I want to just commit that we will return with a further update as soon as we have more information, and to keep the public informed as to what the risks are, where the damages are, so that we can get ourselves through the main flood times, that we can then move on to mopping up. And as we've shown in the past, any of these blocked roads, we will get them open as quickly as we can. But with that, can I hand back to you, Regan? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Premier. Thank you, Minister, ministers, and thank you to all those at the PDMC for all your hard work. I'll now open the media conference to questions. If you could just obviously raise your hand and we can take it in order. And if you could just once again indicate who your question is directed towards and which media outlet, media house you are representing. So we'll take those questions. Hanli Botha, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Minister and Premier. Yes, I'm not from the media, I'm from Breda Valley Municipality, from the communication section. I was just informed that the N1 between Touws River and Worcester is going to be closed. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that.
It's greatly appreciated, Hanli. Thank you so much for that. We'll add that to the growing list of road closures, and we will share that list once the press conference is over. Any further questions from our media colleagues? Yes, Anne van Zyl, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Anne van Zyl from Netwerk 24 and the Burger newspaper. Hello, everyone. I just want to get some more clarity on the situation in Villiersdorp. I just want to make sure I heard that correctly. 250 affected families evacuated to the local creche, and there are still 2 people missing, being looked for. Do we have any more context on what's going on in Villiersdorp?
Oh, that's the information we've got. The teams are out there. As it involved, we will communicate, keep on communicating. Obviously, we try our utmost best not to move people. People don't want to move actually out of their houses because of theft and all those kind of things. But if it's about life and death, then we ask them to evacuate. That happened in Villiersdorp, but Gift of the Givers, Helping Hand, they're all on standby to support, and we will also obviously pull in SASSA and DSD to also support those 250 families. The whole operation will be to get them back into their homes as soon as possible. The people that's missing, it's very difficult circumstances to search and rescue. There's various search and rescue parties out. There's people standing on their cars in Struisbaai, so we need to get them out. We've got 3 helicopters on standby, but we cannot release them because of the wind and the weather services. So luckily, we've got a lot of professional people to make those difficult calls. So my call to the media to help us to ask people to be patient. As you just heard now that the N1 is also closed, that means the N1, the N2, Sodo Pass, Royal, so all the entries to Western Cape, to the city of Cape Town, mostly closed. We will open it during the day as it involved, but there will be long queues of cars, and we ask people to be patient, and if you can delay your travel back to Cape Town, please do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Deneen Erasmus, I note you can go next.
Hi, everyone. It's Deneen Erasmus from Business Day. I'm sorry if I'm asking questions about things that were covered earlier in the press conference, but I just struggled to join. I just wanted to know from the coastal flooding that happened last week. Do you have an estimate yet of the damage that was caused by that flooding? And then could you also just give me just a bit of an indication of what preparation was done, sort of in anticipation of the current flooding and stormy weather?
Darlene, no, we haven't done that cost yet. Remember, it was a big area. It's difficult to get the engineers everywhere to do the cost, and a lot have happened within the coastal zone. Your other question, as the Disaster Management Centre, the system, I've stated it in the beginning to the Premier that the system we invest in over the last 12 years actually carried us through and helped us through a situation like this. Everybody is prepared. Everybody knows what to do. When we activated the job, we sit here with the Department of Water and Sanitation, South Africa National Defence Force, Health and Wellness, Agriculture, Mobility, Human Settlements, all the departments are activated. They're in the disaster management center. They focus on their speciality to support the communities. So we've activated all the jocks, local jocks in municipalities. They were in a position to clear as much debris as possible before the floods and also communicate with the residents. So I think through the system, we managed to save a lot of lives. I don't know, Schalk, if you want to add to that.
We have to also give credit to our South African Weather Service. Earlier said this storm was a monster of a storm. We never had this level ever before. The Knysna fire, the storm that came through in 2017, was only graded as a level 8 storm. The South African Weather Service initially said the storm that we currently experience was a 7, and since Friday they said no. All the models show that it's going to be a huge system, a cut-off low coming over the Western Cape, and they upgraded to a level 9. That forced then the Disaster Management Centre, as Minister said, Mr. Bedell said, we had to activate proactively, and we awaited the storm, and we went through the night. And we are currently all still activated, and we will monitor the system until it leaves the Western Cape. We get, as we've done this morning, we will get situation reports from all the line functions, and they are only now in daylight. We now can see exactly what the damages is, and as the rivers comes down, we will also now get more road closures. This is not the end of the storm. The storm is still continuing. There will still be rain falling over the city of Cape Town. As well, we expect the rain to go through now to Garden Route. It's like a slow storm moving over the Western Cape, and then it will dissipate and it will go into the Eastern Cape. From my side, we have regular situation reports, and we share that media with our media liaison officer, and that will be available for the press if necessary. Thanks, Minister.
Thank you, Regan.
Thank you, Schalk. Thank you, Minister. Jim Mohlala.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Jim from Daily Maverick. I just wanted to ask if the Western Cape Disaster Management has numbers and names of formal and informal settlements that have been impacted by the weather so far. Thank you.
All of the Western Cape, there's the city of Cape Town. Okay. Yeah. Yes, we've spoken to our city of Cape Town colleagues. They are, as we all know, is focusing on the high-risk areas to rescue our people in imminent danger. So to not people that is now houses totally flooded. We also got through all our settlements, i.e., there's no difference in if you're staying in a informal settlement or in a formal house. We have to, if your premise or your house is endangered and there's imminent risk of life and property, the city of Cape Town, the search and rescue services, and with all the other support services, then render assistance. The head of the City of Cape Town Disaster Management Centre said that there's extensive flooding in all the low-lying areas in our informal settlements, formerly known as the Cape Town flats. They are currently busy with assessments, and as we go along, we will determine to what extent that settlements has been flooded. But we can almost say all the people staying in the informal settlement has got some degree of flooding currently, but we don't know exactly what it will be, and that is where the next step is to get. We decided we need now to call in SASSA, South African, the humanitarian organization that will assist us with the feeding, as well as our Department of Social Development, so that we can determine who needs humanitarian aid. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Schalk. Any further questions? We can take maybe 1 or 2 questions. We are pressed for time. I do need to add. So there we go. Is it Tamlin? Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. It is Tamlin. Yes, I'm from Cape Community Newspapers. I just wanted to find out if you guys have a little information about the bus accident, because you guys have said it's not weather related. So is there any other information on that accident or what happened there?
Currently, we call it emergency management services, the ambulance services, and our own traffic. There was a huge contingent of that services on the scene. We've got Dr. Wayne Smith, our EMS representative in the center, earlier reported. Up till now, I think there's 3 people dead and 5 patients that was now very seriously injured. Were very seriously injured, and then there's 11 that has also been taken to the hospital for injuries that they've been sustained. So we don't have all the detail yet, but just before this meeting, that accident actually happened. So we had it on. We've got big screens in our disaster management center, so we could have observed what happened there. But we can later on confirm how many people more on a confirmation of what the actual amount of people that has been injured, and because if you got red, it means that people is very seriously injured. So up till now, we can't say exactly how many people might be injured in this accident. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamlin. Maybe worth just getting hold of the bus service. I believe it was Golden Arrow bus service as well. We've got time for one more question. Deneen.
Thanks, Regan. Yes, Deneen again from Business Day. And again, sorry if this has already been covered, but can I get an idea of in the last 24 hours how much rain has fallen, like in areas like Vliesdorp and in the city of Cape Town metropolitan area?
In Overberg, the Overberg area, the district, there was areas up to 170 millimeters of rain. In Stellenbosch, 133 millimeters of rain. The Royal Yacht Club in Cape Town, 92 millimeters. And you must add that then wind to that. So it's quite difficult out there.
Okay, thank you. Tamlin, just checking, is that a historical hand?
Yes, it is. I don't have another question. Thank you, guys.
Okay. All right. Thank you, media colleagues. We will be giving updates at a later stage, or you can also just go to the Premier's various social media platforms where we'll give you those updates as well. But yes, thank you very much for availing yourselves for this media conference. A very big thank you to the Premier and to the ministers and to SCOC as well. Greatly appreciated, and for all the hard work being done by our emergency teams and our partners. It is not going unnoticed. Thank you so much, and yes, have a good day and be safe out there.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.